Boys Planet is the brand new boy group making project that we're all tuning into. It consists of 98, well now 93 male trainees, some of whom are well-known stars who compete for the chance of debuting in a 9-member group. Following the rebranding done in Girls Planet 999, Boys Planet's voting process is fair and transparent, meaning that the producers are going all out in making us see who they want us to see and how they want us to perceive them. So far, 3 episodes have been released, being the first 2 demo stages and the third the beginning of the first mission that they were given. And after watching all of the 2 hours long episodes, we can say we know at max 30 trainees, which is not even close to half of all of the contestants. From what we have been shown and knowing that the only manipulation that can be done is with the audience, I'm confident we know who is going home and who is making it to the finals. Obviously, all that will be said is my opinion and my observations as a viewer, which may be right and may not. If you have any insights of the show or of any of the trainees we were talking about or the ones we didn't mention, feel free to start a discussion down below. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. When talking about the most remarkable trainees, I think a great starting point is the ones we see the most, whose performances are engraved in our heads and whose name and faces can be recognized among the group of guys. And who better to start it off than our combo consisting of Mingyu, Doha, and it is probably very clear why we are grouping them all together. Mingyu and Doha are the My House duo and have basically the same storyline in different fonts and a voice cracking in different moments. Whereas Takuto has the same problems but a more youthful and cute maknae-ish image. Assuming that we will still see a lot more of them due to comedic and content purposes, I have to say I only see 2 ways of their arcs going. One is their lack of skills will be used to promote other contestants. With that, I mean that we'll be seeing boys that the producers want to be perceived as good leaders, maybe including them more, or just make them go very far and see that they're not up to par with the other trainees, which gives the other trainees an advantage over them. The second arc that we can have, which is very likely to happen, is that they will have a nice started from the bottom, now we are here arc. Kind of similar to what we saw from Nako when she went from an F to an A, where they will have a breakthrough and show their talent. This can be seen in the last episode how Mingyu didn't really make any mistakes and did have a hard time but did great on stage. I do think if we have an arc like this with Takuto and Doha, it will be pushed a lot more and be like, look how hard they worked to get here. Realistically speaking, they do not stand a chance in a tough competition to make it into the final lineup, but will instead get a lot of traction, which might have been the whole purpose of them being there, more specifically with Doha and Mingyu, who both have an acting background. Maybe they went there just to get popularity and as a nice way to start off their careers. However, I'm pretty positive we'll see one of them making to the finals or placing very high in the elimination preceding to it. My bet at the moment is Doha, since we see him the most and he is just everywhere. And he specifically reminds me a lot of Shinwei. I mean, the visuals are there, the funny remarks are there. The only thing he needs is to flirt or have like a little moment with the MC now.
못생겼어. 못생겨 남자예요.
We as an audience tend to empathize a lot more with hard workers and nice personalities than automatically talented people. The underdogs are the ones we always cheer for no matter what, especially when they are so cute and made a whole fan club out of the contestants to themselves. Those 3 have a big advantage until the one-pick voting system. Since everyone sees them so much, they can easily be filler vote. Voting them if you were unsure who to vote for is a given. And that will specifically be confirmed when we see them on the top half after the first elimination. Someone else who is undoubtedly ranking on the top half of the first elimination is the one and only hoetaek. But let's just call him Huey for simplicity. First of all, I must say that him being in the show is just wrong. He is way too overpowered. He is the +4 card on top of the +4. He is the all-stars of the all-stars. He should be sitting with the mentors. That being said, even with all of his skills and talents and insane experience that he carries, I don't think he will be getting nice edit. Contrary to his counterpart from Girls Planet 999, Hyujin, he is older and I don't think he specifically fits what the producers had in mind, or if he himself does not want to be in the debut group, but he is being used and he is going to be used more for drama purposes than a self-advertisement kind of thing. The way we see his face in the end of every episode, in the previews, how they make him out to be a bit jealous and set up the one-sided rivalry between the main vocalist of the Love Me Right, definitely confirms that if they can evil edit him, they will be doing so. And this, as much as can be seen as very bad for his reputation and his votes, I do think the more Mnet doesn't want him in, the more fans will push him to be in out of spite. Fans and his previous group is basically his main problem into getting to the debut line. Because if the fans do not organize themselves, or if the fans do not want him to debut or to leave Pentagon or anything of sorts, I'm afraid he will not make it to debut. However, if the fans organize themselves and decide, yes, we're putting him in, then he is definitely there already. His situation is more up to how his fans decide to treat him and how much he shows he wants to be in the debut line. Due to his popularity, previous history as an idol, he is most definitely in the finals. He has the general public's vote as he is a familiar face and he has a very sad background story, how his company kind of failed him, how he had a huge hit but couldn't grow on top of it, how he is incredibly talented, a composer. So there is no doubt in my mind that he will make it to the finals. The only thing that we're kind of stuck is he actually making it to debut? In the producer's point of view, he's obviously the main breadwinner. They can edit him in such a way that makes people curious to see what's going to come next. And everyone wants to see what he brings to the table and how he's going to go throughout the season since he is such an acclaimed figure. I also do think this whole survival show is a very good experience for him because I can see him drawing inspiration from a lot of different contestants. The way he said Jay, for example, had his own sound in his voice and he wanted to find something like that, and how he wasn't scared to improve and ask questions from people that are younger than him. I feel like that is insanely brave of him to allow himself to get better, and it makes me very curious to see his growth as an artist when he gets out of there. Talking about Hui, we have to talk about his arch enemy, the MVP for the Love Me Right global team, Jay. Jay is also someone who is already in the finals. If we have 18 spots in the finals, in reality we have 17 because he is already there. He has a really nice vocal tone, and not only us as the audience know, but the mentor seems to really enjoy it, which makes us as the audience enjoy it even more. He has a chill but swaggy image, which may not be what the producers want in the final group, but he's also a face that can create many storylines and drama as we have seen so far. And I do think that if in the finals we don't have a lot of vocalists, he is going to be very pushed. He is most definitely in the top 9 global contestants, and in this first elimination, I do think he's going to be breaking the top 9, maybe ranking in 6th or 5th place, seeing that his performance was shown a week before than the other groups, and he was the main highlight of it all. He has very favorable edits, he has nice reactions, he is seen as humble, so all that he needs now is to have a very stable fan base in Korea so that he can go through the one picks and make it to debut. We will see what else he has to show us because that man is not going anywhere, together with his Love Me Right companion, Haruto. Haruto is talented and funny, which is the perfect combination to get a lot of screen time. His rank raised so much from episode 1 to episode 2, and I'm expecting it to rise a lot more until the elimination episode. He is shown in extremely good light with his dancing and acrobatic skills. The best example being that in his demo stage, he had a voice crack, but instead of them showing his voice crack a bazillion times with 3 different angles, they only show the nice parts of his rap, his flips, and whatnot. That editing alone of the demo stage makes it seem like he is one of the most favorite trainees. Him being in Wake One gives him an extra advantage of that too, because Wake One is the company that will be taking care of the final group. I'm not sure if he's gonna do well when people have the one pick power, but I do think we can count him in the finals, as he is a face we see a lot. He has funny reactions, he has a very interesting personality and character, and I do think if he doesn't make it in, he is for sure in the boy group that week one seems to want to debut. I do generally think he is one of the most favorited G group members, behind what we like to call the big three.
Where are the plastics?
They're teen royalty. If North Shore was Us Weekly, they would always be on the cover.
The first big three contestant is Keita. We already got to see so much from him. He is immensely kind, incredibly talented, confident, fluent in Korean, a great leader, and has experience but not overwhelmingly so. He absolutely knows what he is doing, and that was shown extremely well in his Kill This Love performance. And since he is part of the big three of the global group, it's more than safe to expect him to be in the finals. I'm not sure if he has a lot of Korean fan base, and we know that the most important thing is to have a lot of Korean supporters. If he does not have that much of a stable one pick fandom in Korea, that may be the one thing stopping him from debuting. However, with the positive edits he has been getting, I assume his fandom will gradually increase throughout the show. He also has a really nice background story of years in training and a failed group, so he will get a lot of sympathy from that. He's just insane for being so talented and being able to create such a nice group.
She's the queen bee, the star. Those other two are just her little workers.
Regina George.
I could not say anything about him and just keep it as he is the Signal Music Center. But let's talk about him because he is a very nice guy, fun character. He is most certainly debuting. I do see him getting this not in your face edits, but more of a Chaehyung edit. Kind and being brave and great at communication and intellectual skills. He's also fluent in Korean, so he has no problems in communication, and he has many talents both vocally and musically, which is awesome for the future variety shows that they're going to go to. He will definitely appear in the finals and most likely reach places between 6 to 9 in the debut line, only because of the disadvantage that the global group has with respect to the Korean group. Definitely one of the vocalists for our final lineup. Finally, our last of our G Big Three.
That little one? That's Gretchen Wieners.
Matthew is insanely popular, not only because of his talents, but because he is kind, cute, charismatic, and has many friendships throughout the show, which is something that people really like to see in produced series. He did an amazing job in Kill This Love, and the whole group in Kill This Love will get a lot of momentum right now since they were shown super well, and I think most of them will climb a lot in rankings to this first elimination that is coming up. The only problem is that since he is kind of a package deal with Sung Han-bin, I fear he's gonna have the same fate as Yurina, which everyone was so sure that she was debuting, and in the end she wasn't even close to making it due to the lack of one pick fandom that she had. I do think he does have a lot more of one pick, seeing the pose for the show, but I'm still a bit fearful. So let's hope that people have learned their lessons with Yurina and that he's gonna keep being cute and doing a spectacular job like he did in the first mission. Anyways, now let's talk about the other half of the orange, Sung Han-bin. The moment he came up and the first moment he appeared in episode 1, we knew he is debuting. Differently from Girls Planet 999, where we didn't know who was going to be the center until the very end, and it was kind of a fiasco there. I do think this time Mnet is pushing him so hard. This is your center, just accept it. And I think everyone has accepted so far. If he doesn't debut in the first place, everything that we've seen until now is a lie, because this man is talented, knows how to dance, visuals are there, friendships are there, kind edits, angel edits everywhere, so there is no doubt in my mind that he is our center. Boys Planet was fundamentally made so Han-bin could find his co-workers. He is secured in the debut line, and so is our next trainee, Yoojin. Yoojin is in the best position in the series right now. He has a lot of hype, but also has a really nice story arc being made for him, from not having a lot of confidence, being sick, being young, not being able to call his mom. He has all of this piling up to make him have a really nice breakthrough. He is seen and edited as very talented, almost as a dance prodigy, since he started learning how to dance a year ago, which is insane. And everyone hypes him up, producers, mentors, everything. So he's definitely in the debut line. And his storyline is just wrapping him up with a bow. I definitely see him in at least the top 3 of the final lineup with Kim Ji-woong. Kim Ji-woong is our visuals. He is also another one that is given a debut. Let's be very honest here, his visuals alone could get him a top 3 spot, and the producers constantly showing him as not only a very nice visual, but as a calm personality that can kind of mediate situations and is probably also going to be shown as a good leader. He is most definitely debuting. And I'm very happy because every time we see him on the screen is a moment well spent. And you can say I am very heavily biased towards him, but so are the producers, so no problem there. He is serving face, and he's serving a lot of talent as well with his dance. But he also had a previous fan base due to his acting career. And I'm very shocked that Mnet is actually pushing him despite having a really big connection to the LGBTQ plus community. But I'm very happy about that. I guess they saw how pretty he is and just couldn't let him go. But I am not worried in the slightest about him, especially after the next episode, which will probably sediment his place as not only a visual, but as a very good member of a team. Then we have Gunwook, the mastermind of everything. He is talented, a great leader, amazing dance capabilities. He has shown that he is deserving to be a now star, and he is definitely in the finals and most probably in the debut line if his editing and screen time keeps going the way I think it will go. He is a jellyfish contestant, and he had a Daeul comparison, which had an insane angelic arc. Their stories seem to be going in the same line, so I definitely see him going to the finals and even making it to debut. Also, Gunwook is on the younger side, which is definitely a plus. And I just live for people saying in the confessionals that they're scared of him, because that is so funny. A lot of people are a bit confused in if that is good editing or bad editing, but I do think anything that you're confused is a good editing. And seeing how Daeul went from we weren't really convinced he was super talented to being the most talented in one episode, I see the same thing happening with him, especially now that he was kind of demoralized, creating a bit of an underdog story, even though he is not an underdog. He will probably have to reinvent himself after his loss in the Kill This Love team, but I don't think that's going to be a problem since he seems very, very sure of what he wants to do. Another guy who is very much highlighted is King Gyuvin. He is also in the younger side, and he's a Weha trainee, which gives him a lot of advantage as well, especially since so many Weha trainees seem to be getting pushed. He is a very good dancer, he is tall, he has visuals, and he is friends with most of the top people. He has a very nice character, and producers seem to like him too, especially since he is kind of one of the faces of the series. I'm expecting to see him a lot more with the growing of the season. He is not only in the finals, but also most likely has a space in the debut line, especially how his rankings are already incredibly high, and he has a lot of Korean supporters. Another guy who has a lot of Korean supporters is Lee Do. And he himself, I think, has one of the strongest one pick from the Korean side. I don't see this hype lessening unless he has bad edits, because I do see the producers pushing him a bit. He's definitely a favorite by being the first trainee to show up, and he is shown as creative, kind, not exceptionally talented, but hardworking, which is a very good edit. If it keeps up, he definitely has a spot in the finals, and maybe not in debut, but very high finals, I would say. To be honest, he's not one of my favorites, but I do see him a lot, and he is cute enough and already got a lot of traction, so he is promising. Someone else who is really promising, but isn't really a producer's favorite, is Wang Zihao. Wang Zihao has a very strong one pick, and he is very, very popular. And if he can go through all of the elimination rounds, I'm sure he has a really good chance of debuting. He had no screen time at all in the first 2 episodes, already had a bit of a high ranking, And since he was in the Kill This Love team, and I said it before, I do think all of the Kill This Love team's ranking will like skyrocket. He definitely got more eyes on him. And I do think he is the most likely to pull a Bahi and no screen time, but just make it up there to the top. Mostly because he has a very strong one-pick system. And now that the door was open to the general public to see him, and he was shown as a very good dancer and as someone that trainees have an eye out for, he is someone who has a very high chance of making it to the finals and even to the debut line. Finally, the last contestant I wanted to talk a bit more in depth of is Kim Taerae. He has a very good amount of views in his fan cams and already has a really good ranking from episode 2. But I do think it will drop in the first elimination since his performance was not shown in episode 3 and nor is he really highlighted. But he had some moments such as his reevaluation was shown and he was compared to one of the masters. And most of all, he is a Wake One trainee. So he is definitely a solid contender to debut, but I have not seen a lot of him. I do think that he is definitely going to be close to getting into the finals as he already has a very solid Korean fan base. So the one-pick system should not be a problem, but he does not really have a lot of international support. If he doesn't really get a good edit, which I don't really see coming for him since in the backdoor group he is in, he's going to get a bit of attention, but the main story will definitely be around the center, Kim Ji-woong and Han Yoo-jin. I don't think they'll specifically edit him in a way that will showcase all of his talents. So I do think his chances of debuting is a lot slimmer than Lee Da-woo's, although they might be close in popularity. If he doesn't get an Angel edit, I'm not sure he gets the support he needs to get into there. But he's definitely someone to watch out for as he has very nice vocals and has been praised by the mentors and trainees alike. I would just like to finish off with some names that I think will rise up a lot, and depending on the storyline they're giving, they could have a good chance of making it to the finals and even debuting. First, we have Kim Jun-hyun, who is very talented, has been shown for his vocals and a bit of a mimi personality, and he has a really good amount of screen time, so I definitely see him going far. Another person who I think is very much the dark horse of the season is Park Han-bin. He has been highlighted here and there, and he did great in his demo stage and will probably have a highlighted section in his hot sauce stage, and I'm curious to see more about him. Someone else who is going to rise up is Chen Kwon-ju, who has been shown to be incredibly talented in the demo stage, was in Kill This Love. He has a decent amount of screen time, his entire demo stage was shown, has incredible talents. We have to keep an eye out for him. Yoo Jung-woo is also a backdoor center and has a really hefty amount of screen time. He provides content for us all. His ranking really went up from episode 1 to episode 2, where he didn't really have a lot of screen time. I do think from episode 2 onto the elimination, his ranks will climb up even more, and maybe we see him in the finals? I'm not sure.
I'm Chris, my boss, baby Ricky. 저는 오늘 보이스 팬에서 꼭 가져갈 물건 쇼핑하러 왔어요. Do you want to go shopping with me? 내가 사줄게. 따라와.
여러분, 안녕하세요. 저는 일본에서 여기 여러분을 만나기 위해 글러온 2004년생 웨이크원의 안토니라고 퍼스턴 엔터테인먼트에서 온 서원 선생님입니다. 저는 여러분들의 사랑과 관심을 받기 위해
He did a very good job his Ajunice performance, and from all of the K-group contestants that had a previous group and had previous experience, like Wonki, Hwanhee, I do think So-won has a better chance of making it into the finals. Finally, we have Yoo Sung-gun, who will jump a lot of ranks for carrying his second performance in a row with his vocals, but I don't think he will necessarily make it to the finals since he is very much not a producer's pick. He has been great in both of his performances until now, and he didn't really get a segment of his own, and we can notice him because his talent is there. They are not pushing him so much. And that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment down below any trainees you have your eyes out for and who you think will make it very, very far.